Hello everyone, and welcome to RNG University. On tonight's episode, Golgari Rock again. So, I have not had a lot of success with Golgari Rock ever since the release of Eldraine, even though I do feel like this is a very, very strong deck in almost any form of metagame that's fair. Right? But the problem with the current metagame is that it's not exactly fair in a lot of situations. This deck is very good against aggro, for sure. It's got a lot of stops against aggro. But sometimes against control, it just gets out-controlled. And with the Golgari Rock, it's kind of like a mid-range deck, but it does tend towards control a little bit more with all the removal it has. What I have noticed that this deck kind of falters around are one of the very heavy control decks. That's full of counterspells. Obviously, we can't really tempo out a counterspell heavy deck. And then all kinds of combo Atraxa decks that makes it a little bit difficult for us to fight an uphill battle when they have those card advantage. So what I believe is sort of the heart of the deck against those specific type of matchup are the Duress and the Liliana. Right? I really think that being able to get into our opponent's hand makes it so much stronger of a play style. Now, that being said, though, the whole deck list, I have to kind of adjust a little bit because a lot of those deck runs removal or exile in terms of things like, the fast O-Ring, Leyline Binding, and then the cheap O-Ring, the Ossification. So we have Tear Asunder and Glissa Sunslayer in the deck in order to fight against those type of style. But we also have two Sheoldred's Edict in order to kind of kill a Planeswalker if we need to do that. That's kind of the idea that I have for this deck. And there's a lot of Golgari Rocks out there, and all of them has its advantages and disadvantages. I don't know what is the best version of this deck, but I am going to try running this version. This is the version that I kind of fine-tuned together with all the other net decks that I've kind of cobbled together. Maybe there's already one version out there that looks exactly like this. I have no idea, but mostly it's just, your standard Golgari Rock cards. Some of the cards I kind of pick out and tune so that we have 3 offs in the deck or 2 offs in the deck instead of 4 offs. That's what our whole deck list. We have, in the early game, 2 cut down, 2 Duress, so that we have early game, I guess, anti-aggro or anti-control. And then we also have, in the early game, 3 more Virtue of Persistence for exile or removal, not an exile, for removal that gives you +2/+2, and you can exile this for a venture, which is pretty good. We also have 4 gold for the throw and 2 Sheoldred's Edict, so that's a lot of removal in the early game. And then we have 2 Tenacious Underdog for maybe Tempo, but most likely Blitz later on, and 4 Mosswood Dread Knight for that card draw and, almost infinite card draw as the game goes on. And then we have 2 Tear Asunder to exile any permanent we want because of the kicker, so that's a pretty good card. And then we have 2 Graveyard Trespasser going to the 3-drop, 3 Liliana, and 3 Glissa. So the 3-drop is pretty kind of spread out, so that we're not focused on just Graveyard Trespasser like I tend to do, or just focus on Liliana like a lot of decks I face against tend to do. I think Glissa is pretty good, and I want to have her in my hand, but I also don't want to have multiple Glissa stranded, so I have 3 off in the deck. And then we have 3 Sheoldred and 3 Blossoming Tortoise. That's kind of the trick in this deck, in that we don't have 4 Sheoldred in the deck, since we have a lot of early game removal. Against mono red, we should be able to stabilize by the time we land our Sheoldred. We don't need to have multiple off. And we don't have Besiege the Mire, because there's not many things that we can bargain in the deck. So Besiege the Mire is not that good in this deck. It's just basically a Diabolic Tutor. So Blossoming Tortoise is going to help us get us land back. And the lands that we want to get back are very important. Golgari Rock has 25 lands in the deck because we are a pretty land-centric deck. We have 7 Swamps, 1 Takenuma, 3 Forests, 1 Boseiju. Obviously, we're more black than we are green. 4 Deathcap Glade, 4 Llanowar Wastes. What you may have noticed is that we have none Mirics, but we have 2 Restless Cottage and 3 Mishra's Foundry, because man lands have 1 activated ability, or cause 1 less activated ability, and the creature are +1/+1. So our Mishra Foundries are automatically 3/3, and our Restless Cottage are automatically 5/5s. So that's what makes this deck kind of good. And Restless Cottage is pretty good at exiling creatures graveyard too, and give us the food token. It's right here, the food token, to give us a little bit of life, should that be necessary. Now, there's still other versions of Golgari Rock, but I'm gonna try this deck out and see whether or not it has viability. Alright, that's a fast load. Let us face our first opponent, the Borja. Borja? Boruja. And opponent goes first. That's also a problem I'll face a lot. No removal. Opponent goes first. So I don't know if I want to keep a hand with no removal when the opponent goes first. But I have to keep with it because I have 3 lands. So, alright. Let's just lose to the mono red. Oh, a switch gear. You don't say. Should I just quit now? We take 1, but we take out a burn. Nahiri, huh? Is Nahiri Strike really that good against our deck? Lightning Strike is definitely better. Adversary? Man, this is bad. Just gonna keep pinging myself. Already at 15, 14. They're just gonna kill my Dread Knight and then keep attacking me. Here's Nahiri. Yep. Is that May, right? No, it's not even May, it's a must. 10. Now I can't even exile my Dread Knight from the Trespasser because it's a must, so... Oh yeah. Just take out the Lightning Strike. Phoenix Chick. Ow. Ah, lots of Dread Knights. That's definitely the game I wanted to play. Tortoise. I might be able to get a land. And that's a very weak might. Maybe I'll just play 2 Dread Knights. Do I want to hold up a Tear Asunder? Would that do anything? Oh, I have my own Dread Knight. What am I doing? Oh well, maybe you top a land and Bloodthirst the adversary. No, Soul Cousin. Okay. Singular attack? You sure? Alright. Singular attack it is. Do we want to play a Tortoise? This is a questionable play, but I guess I'll do it. Actually, probably should have played a Blossoming Tortoise first. So do I just hold up Tear Asunder since I didn't play the Blossoming Tortoise? No. That can't be right. No creatures anyways. We do get a land. Do we play our Takenuma? Do I need that many lands? I don't think so. Also, Takenuma can get gotten back. I don't know how to say it. Can be brought back with the Tortoise. See? Nothing in your graveyard. Full swing. Wow. The thing about full swinging is giving me fodder for the Graveyard Trespasser here. Alright, Restless Cottage. That's pretty good. Let us attack with the Glutton. Gain 2 life. Alright, I don't think I need to play the Mosswood Dread Knight. I'll just pass turn and hold up Tear Asunder. Kumano. Good top deck? I suppose. And quit! Look at that. Beat him. Ha! Take that mono red. This is what I was saying about Golgari Rock, is that we have a sustainable play against aggro. Of course, we got pretty lucky with our draw there, but the trick is not to get too greedy with the Mosswood Dread Knight, right? Don't forget, there's still creatures. You can just put them out as blockers. We got really lucky with our opponent not having Kumano early game. If they have Kumano, the whole game is going to be a different kind of style because it's very hard for us to use our Graveyard Trespasser to its advantage when everything's exiled. Hey, look, opponent goes first. Well, you don't say. guess we'll keep. There's no green mana, which is bad, but really we can play 3 out of the 4 cards without green mana right now. So maybe it's viable. Very small maybe. Dark Slick Shores. 2 mana, no play? 2 mana play something. No, 2 mana, no play. Oh, you're gonna mill me? Interesting. So it's a Gorf deck? Alright, well, I'm gonna go on an adventure and draw a card. Did mill a forest, but that's no other forest in the deck, apparently. Tainted Indulgence on your... No card in your graveyard? Alright, is he missing a land drop? No, he's not. This will be a great turn to Glissa, but do we play the Tenacious Underdog? Oh, I should have played the Mishra's Foundry. Do we play the Tenacious Underdog, or do we just blitz it out next turn and hold up whatever he plays this turn? Or hold up a removal for whatever he plays this turn. I have a lot of removal in the hand. No green mana. Alright, mill me. My green mana! Oh, and mill an underdog. Okay. Sure. 3/3. Die. Hey, would you look at that? Pretty good card. Don't need to blitz out this turn since I still had a land drop. And this gives me board advantage. Another Necrophage. Okay, so let's see if this trick actually works. Maybe he has an instant mill. Is this instant? No. Let's exile cards from my graveyard. Because I don't want this Mosswood Dread Knight in there. Would you like to tap out? Then we can cut this down. Yeah? You got a counter spell for a cut down? Go for the throw. Okay. Sure. Discard a counter spell to kill my Graveyard Trespasser. I guess I'll have to spend 2 cut downs on the Cruel Psalmophage. So it's dead. That way the other cut down won't get fizzled. Well, it will get fizzled, but not get fizzled in the right way. Now my underdog. No green still, so kind of have to fight an uphill battle just because I don't have green. Jace! Ah.
Your hope is wasted. You cannot...
Mill 3. My green mana! They keep milling my green mana, those jerks. Alright, well, double blitz. Make sure Jace dies. Maybe he has a cut down. He doesn't have a cut down. That's wasted 3 damage.
Retreat is the sensible action.
Is it though? Is it though? Where the heck's my green mana? Jesus. This feels so bad. Now it's getting to a point where I couldn't play most of my hand. You still got 3 cards left. It's a mill deck? I mean, obviously it's a mill deck, but it's a weird version of a mill deck. I think we died to 2 Jace. Ashiok, okay. 2 Nightmares. Do we just attack the Ashiok? See if he blocks? Single block, huh? Alright, sacrifice your Planeswalker. He has a lot of cards, and I have no force. What do you take? My Sheoldred! Of course! No? Okay, my turn. I mean, why draw a forest when you can draw a swamp? This feels really bad, huh? I can't draw a freaking forest for the life of me. Only drawn basic swamps, so I guess it's just the game's way of telling me to lose. They're down to 2 cards, but they can steal a card from my deck. And I can't do anything without drawing a green mana, so... Another Siphon. Probably took my go for the throw or something. Yeah, right? Opponent draws better cards from my deck than I do. Would you attack with a 3-3? Probably wouldn't. Oh, this is getting ridiculous. Not playing that out. I drew 5 swamps before I drew any double color land. That's shuffler game, if you've ever seen one. They literally, every time they mill, they'll mill my forest. But every time I draw, I can't draw the forest for the life of me. I know I have more swamps than forests in the deck, but I also have, was it 10 dual color lands? So there's a total of 13 lands. I just needed 1. Alright, whatever. Veladis, next opponent. That last game didn't count. I mean, we don't get to go first anyway, so it didn't matter too much. Uh-oh. Alright, a Darkar Waste, huh? I'm gonna Duress. Huh. Let's see if I'm just fading home my underdog. Oh yeah, he does. But that's good for me because that's a waste of his spell. Is he gonna hold up a counterspell next turn? Yes, he is. What is he gonna do? Counter an underdog? Temporary lockdown. Do I want? Yeah, I can lock down her. No, it's fine. It's fine. Leave up Field of Ruin. Man, you gotta learn how to play the game. Alright. I don't think I want Glissa out because it's easier to remove. Trespasser out first is harder to remove. Let's take out. I don't think they can bring back Planeswalkers. But they might have Lear. Memory Deluge. Main face. Opponent has no fear. Well, gotta answer that with something, right? No Memory Deluge for you back on the other side. Now, we're probably gonna get board wiped, but honestly, like, that's fine. If we get board wipe, we get board wipe, right? It's no board wipes. That's interesting. He wants to Emperor my Glissa. Let's go to combat first. No, he wants to tap my Glissa. No. Okay, so there is an Emperor on my Glissa, which is probably bad. So, that's a question, right? Do I make him waste his Emperor? Does he want to Emperor the Graveyard Glutton? Do it. Hey Gonjo, you still gotta pay. Another Foundry. Okay. Do I just blitz out the underdog right now just to draw a card? I don't think so. He definitely wants to Emperor me. But now, which one is he going to Emperor? My underdog? Or my Glissa? Eh? This blue-eye control is kind of tricky to play against. You have to kind of layer your threats. If I just put the Mosswood Dread Knight, I think it just gets exiled, and then I'll lose a lot in this fight. So I don't want to do that. Let's go to attack. He can only Emperor one of these two cards. Or is this rebuff? Okay, I guess he can do that. But that is a counter spell we drag out of his hands. So we'll play a forest and we'll end turn. We're going to do that again next turn. In fact, we might not have to. He doesn't have Farewell yet. And when he does have Farewell, he has to hit his own temporary lockdown. Oh, a Jace. Interesting. Is he going to plus? If he pluses... Oh, am I going to catch him? No. Okay, he's going to mill me to death already. Interesting.
None of this calculates. Surrender every last thought to Phyrexia.
He wants to double Jace me. I have 28 cards left. He wants quadruple Jace me. If that's his plan, I might have to switch it up a little. He's got one white. I don't know if he can kill the Mishra's Foundry. It's a 2/2. It will be a 4/4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I do have 7 too. So, I guess we will attack. Destroy enchantment. He can't Jace me to death next turn, right? He might be able to, honestly. This is tricky. So, what do I do next turn? He's at 13. And if I hold up everything, I will be able to kill the Jace if he wants to double the Jace activation. Right? So, I think it's better to pull out this threat. And just pass turn. Because that's lethal if he wants to kill me. Tranquil Cove. Temporary lockdown. Sure. He wants to stall for another turn. Do we blitz this out? That was a weird Jace, honestly. Come on, get my Duress. Not a Duress. Do I still have my Duress? It's not in the graveyard. One is in the graveyard. Yeah, he wants to double Jace me for sure, but he's dead next turn unless he does something. He has to hold up 3 mana for the Field of Ruin. So he has 3 mana left to kill something. Oh, a Jace. Okay. Just want to mill me again.
Emotions are distractions. Focus on the facts.
Mills 3 cards, huh? Oh, he's gonna draw 3. That's pretty bad. Maybe I should stop his Jace in response. Will he be able to do anything in response to me stopping his Jace? Alright, sacrifice the Planeswalker. He's got one card. Is the last card in his hand a counterspell? It's not. Okay.
No secret escapes my grasp.
Seems like he has nothing. GG. I guess me killing his Jace probably wouldn't have mattered there since he didn't draw anything. I would have just lethaled him anyways. But I can't let the Jace on the board and he potentially draw a counterspell. So that's why I've made that play. Alright. Alright. Golgari Rock's doing this thing. Luck 19. Very red opponent. Opponent goes first. Oh yeah. Let's see. We got. That's a pretty bad hand. 2 tap lands. But we have Sheoldred. It's not great. Oh, you don't say, huh? You got an aggro opener. Wow. You're such a good player. Guess what? Restless Cottage. Will we ever get to land the Sheoldred if we or land the Edict if we Restless Cottage? Then we'll never Duress him, right? Let's play to win instead of play to not lose, but we'll probably still lose. 1 card. Top deck Feldon. All right. Mishra's Foundry. That is a land. I mean, I don't think this matters. Sacrifice a non-token creature. It's going to sacrifice the Swiss Sphere. I take 5. Yep. That happened. Trespasser. Phoenix Chick. Full out attack. Whoa. Okay, so if I block the Feldon here, he gets to have a card, but I get to see what it is. Whereas if I block the Godric, he'll have no creatures. He wouldn't have no big creatures. So yeah, no Godric. And then play a 2-2 afterwards. Interesting line of play you got. What would you do against Sheoldred? Just gonna turn it live and all in, huh? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 damage. If I take 7 here and that's play with fire, I die, right? So I have to block. And if I block and he doesn't have a lightning strike, so can't 1 mana 3 damage. He could have the attacker thing. No, it's a land. Nice bluff. Does Tear Asunder do anything? That go for the throat doesn't? I don't think so. Might as well put out a blocker this way. No attacks. Just full out attack every time, right? Okay. Do I care about the Phoenix Chick? He draws 3 cards with the with me letting the Feldon live, right? So if I have no blocks and I just kill the Feldon, I think I'll be okay. I'll take 1. I don't think you can deal 5 damage with 1 card. Another underdog. I don't want another underdog. I want to use my Tear Asunder, so do I attack with my underdog? Foundry. Again. Tear Asunder. Tear Asunder. And to tear you a thunder. On a Phoenix chick. And quit. Look at that. Mono red. No heart. Get beaten up by the Golgari Rocks. Alright, well that's the deck, right? We won 3 out of the 4 games, and a game that we lost, we couldn't draw a force for like 17 turns. So, I say it's a good deck. I say it's been doing pretty well. It's pretty much all I can say about it. I think a lot of people play Golgari Rock. I don't know if it's still top tier. In best of 3, obviously, I think it's a lot better because you have sideboard cards to kind of play around in. You got more Duress, less Duress, depending on your matchup. But overall, in best of 1, I still think this is a pretty fair deck. The Blossoming Turtle did not perform as well as I thought it would, so maybe cut 1 and put another Sheoldred. Maybe cut 1 and put another Forest. I swear to God, no Forest. That game was so frustrating. But overall, I think the deck did quite well, and every card does serve a good purpose against most current meta decks, and then it kind of plays a lot like Mono Black, right? Mono Black with a little bit of spice. The Glissa did a lot of work that game against Control because we keep removing their temporary lockdown, so I guess Glissa does justify the green in the deck, as well as the Tear Asunder in the last game. The Monster with Dread Knight is definitely the big help in this deck against Control to eventually draw out the cards. But Monster with Dread Knight also saved our butts in the first game against Mono Red just to be a 3-2 blocker. That was something. That was something, alright? It's all deck. I think it's a very good deck. I think when you play it, you'll have a lot of fun because there's a lot of strategies going on. There's a lot of thinking involved. And it's not just play cards, win game like Mono Red does. So try it out. Maybe you'll have fun. That's all I got for you today. Thank you very much for joining me. I'll see you guys next time.